promised you a simple program in the Swing Makeover series, and that's only 3 drills. Again, the ones we've seen so far are the connection, now we see the rotation, and next 3 episodes we'll see the rotation into the snap. That's all the more complicated a swing has to be. Brett last week talked about getting in a good connected position. And simply that's a strong stride as you lower and get into a good position with your hands back. You feel connected. Your hips are connected to your hands right now, and you don't need to move a thing in your upper body. Today what we're going to do is go a step farther. Out of this connected position, all I need to do is start to do the rotation. I rotate my hips and come up on that back heel. Just rotate the hips. I'm pushing back against the front base leg. I'm getting my ass into it and turning and driving open. And just by turning my hips, my hands will come ahead to a point where they're just about ahead of the front of my body. Now this is going to change according to where the pitch is, but in a nutshell, when we get to this point here, we'll continue our rotation, but within that rotation, we'll get a secondary rotation and snap of the hips in a palm down position. We had some pretty good equipment that we've introduced, the bungee cord along the side, stuff that's cheap, not very expensive. We're going to introduce some power bands today. You can buy these at any good sporting goods stores, and they make them in different sizes, 30, 40, 50, they're labeled right on there. I got these at Dick's Sporting Goods. But simply grab a piece of tubing, I got a 30 here, and you can go ahead and you can practice your rotation drill on deck. I put this in my bag now. It gives me a great feeling of not chasing with the upper body, of just letting the hips rotate and get me to a position where I can snap. So I'll simply grab it in a full grip or overlap, doesn't make any difference. But I go ahead and I get into my position where I've gone ahead and got connected. I feel the tightness in my upper body, in my lat, and I feel my rear elbow tight to the side. And now I simply rotate. And again, come up on that heel. Here's chest type pitches, waist type pitches, and thigh high pitches. Go ahead and grab your bat down in the on deck circle, work on your connection, and then go ahead and rotate to the point where you want to snap. Chest type pitch, waist type pitch, knee high pitch. Waist type pitch, you can rotate a couple times and then you can snap to impact. I'm very excited to introduce the Senior Bomb Squad 2. 5 Hall of Famers, 8 of the best power hitters for seniors in the nation. And if you pool all the 60 players that play nationally, I think there's 4 guys in this group that are going to be on everybody's top 10 list. Absolutely amazing. I was lucky enough to catch him last month at the Woodlawn Hitting Club in Stl Petersburg, Florida.
Kevin Schulstrom, 51, 6'4", 245, and I'm in the Virginia Metro, DC, Maryland Hall of Fame.
Mark Canigallo, 61, 6'4", 250. I'm in the New England Hall of Fame and the Senior Softball Hall of Fame.
Steve Emily, 63 and a half, in ASA Hall of Fame and Senior Softball USA.
Bobby Davis, 6 feet tall, 235, in Florida Senior Softball Association Hall of Fame.
Davey Reed, 65, 230. I'm in the Senior Softball Hall of Fame. I'm in the Florida Half Century Hall of Fame, the Heartland Hall of Fame, and the Legends Hall of Fame.
Mark Thomas, 58, 6'4", 238.
Brett Van Bogart, 29, 6'3", 230. Practicing with this for the next 20 years, so I'm ready for senior ball.
Nice ball.
I don't know about that. I don't want to. Nice swing.
When you take off all winter long, and come out here, we drove 20 hours down to Florida. I mean, the key right now is just trying to get pitch selection and get your hands and hips working together.
Do you snap your wrist naturally with your hips, or is that something you actually can feel and focus on?
Well, right now I really got to focus on it. Normally when you take a lot of BP, it all comes naturally.
What do you do mechanically that gives you the power? Is it the hips, wrists, everything working in sync? What do you feel personally?
Well, you have to have good hips. You have to open up. You have to come through with your upper body. You've got to make sure when you rotate that your hands come through the zone with your hips and be fluid.
Do you feel like you get a good wrist snap as your hips snap open and sync? I mean, is that something you feel something you actually work on?
Absolutely.
When you go bad and when you do the correct
Well,
thing?
basically, it's the old deal. Go back up the middle. Go back. You always hit the ball back up the middle. Get your arms extended. You go from light pole to light pole. The biggest part that bigger guys have is they'll tuck their arms in instead of getting their arms released.
You want to create bat speed, and the grip to me is a golf grip. It's where you put the bat in your fingers to hit. You line up the knuckles here, your second line of knuckles, you line them up here. It creates whip when you swing the bat, which gives you more bat speed, which helps you hit the ball. Most guys we see that need recreational help are not 6'2", 250-pound home run hitters. They're base hitters. Work on that. It puts top spin on the ball also.
Bringing that point of contact and hitting backside to right field really helps solidify where you want to make contact. Where do you feel like you want to make contact if you go to
If
center
I'm
field?
going right field, I'm going to stride at the ball and I'm going to make contact here. Okay? It's going to be a little bit back. When you want to go to left field, you're going to stride and you're going to hit the ball here.
And one of the things I think you do really well is you take a real strong stride and your hips are really good. What do you focus on there? What's helped you out a lot besides the weightlifting?
I concentrate on making sure my hands and my hips snap and rotate at the same time. I throw my hips and throw my wrist at the same time. That's the key to my success.
One thing I like about your swing is your body angle is really back. That way, at least if you miss, I mean, you aren't looping your swing up in the air, it's a straight A to B swing, but if you miss, you're going to hit the top of the ball, it's going to be a line drive.
Right.
You aren't going to swing underneath it and hit too many pop-ups.
Right. As long as I don't swing at the short pitches.
I'm really concentrating on 10%, 10%, 10%, and then once the foot lands, I'm really pulling as hard as I can to this point here, and then my top hand is palm up, push snap naturally, but I'm just really pull
That
snap.
tempo easy and then explode and impact.
Yeah, if I feel myself speed up and try to hit it hard and go, screws it all up, I gotta go 10% and then snap.
David, you get a tempo in your swing too where you feel like it's real easy and it gets faster and faster, right at impact you explode it. Do you feel a tempo like that in your swing?
When I'm really on, yes. Yeah, then that's what you want. I've actually got a picture at the house where they don't show the bat doesn't show when I'm swinging it. It's just a hand.
If a guy can stay real relaxed early on, a rec player, right at the end, if you can bring everything 100% impact, it just helps the timing, doesn't it?
Exactly. And then you're way more out, you're out front where you're supposed to be.
What's your one focus at the plate that you think about?
Hitting the ball hard.
Be more specific than that at all?
Putting the bat head on the ball out front so I get the most out of the ball when it leaves my bat. Every one of us here have a little bit of a different swing, but we all do the same thing, is we try to hit the ball out front with a little spin on it. When I'm trying to hit it up and out, I try to get just underneath the middle of the ball to get the right spin. That cuts right through the wind. And when I try to hit a line drive, I try to hit just a hair above the middle of the ball to get it to hop over.
Nice round, David. Anything different on there? Any different focus? Anything there that?
Yeah, I tried to prove to myself that if I really took a really hard cut, hit it out front, I could hit it further, and I think I just did.
How about, Steve, your grip? You have such a good snap. Show me your top hand grip. Do you have any of your fingers, any of your knuckle or finger on the top hand touching the handle?
I do not. What I do is, what I have is my inner, you can see with the glove where it's worn.
You're feeling it against that knuckle,
right there.
Not in the finger.
Exactly. I don't keep it back like that. I keep it up like this. I have a lot more control. It's a lot more solid. It gives me that control. I know a lot of people talk about the overhand grip. The big thing they lack is the control. I don't really seem to have that problem.
Probably because they're inside this piece here rather than off of that good part where you're getting your
When it
back.
gets back in here, I have less control over it.
And your snap, do you feel that side snap back and forth, left wrist, right wrist against one another? A lot of torque?
A lot of torque, a lot of snap right here. It makes up for a lot of sins. If you have a good snap and you bring it in here like this, and that's the overhand grip really helps with that snap, in my opinion.
One exercise that Brett Helmer got me to do is deadlifts. Deadlifts is the overall exercise for everything, from your toes to your hair. But you want to explode them. You explode them. Hitting is explosion. Guys that are pulling 650 or 500 or whatever, we're old. We're old. We need something elasticity. Great overall exercise.
What I think has helped me the most out of hitting is my pull-ups that I do. I do 100 sets of 10s, but I do all four different. The tricep, the chin-ups, the pull-ups, and then wide reverses. And they seem to really help my shoulders, and they really loosen me up. That's what seems to help me.
It was a great evening of hitting with a truly remarkable group of hitters. Alas, though, so many balls damaged cars in the parking lot from the longer home runs that law enforcement finally showed up. Thinking quickly, we told them that Bear had set the whole thing up, and off they took him. We did bail him out of jail later, but only after enjoying some wings and beer at Ferg's. Of course, we charged it to Bear's credit card. Want the number? I want to thank our sponsors, DeMarini Sports. Their durability, performance, and style are legendary all the way back to Ray DeMarini, and the best senior bat in the game today. Evil Sports and the two-tone Evil BP ball. Read the spin to improve your swing. These balls fly and are easy on your bats. The #1 ball producer in America for quality. Tenel Shoes, they've been with us about 3 or 4 years. The revolutionary 360 cleat design protects your knees, but offers the ultimate in rotational performance and shoe stability. I'd like to thank Pitch Safe and Pat Beidelman, their owner. So easy and portable, you'll always use it. It may save your life. Softball Magazine, home of the #1 sports magazine in America. Not just for softball, but for fast pitch and baseball too. It's a home of Bat Wars and Softball Magazine spring training. Go to the website. It's the most comprehensive website on softball in America. Gene Smith and the staff do a marvelous job, and we thank them. I'd like to thank the SSUSA, the creators of the ultimate senior playing experience. Great website, first-class tournaments, whether it be regional or world tournaments. Bill, Susan, Terry, Fran, and Dave, thank you very much. And I'd like to thank the SPA and Ridge Hooks, Southern Hospitality, and the great senior organization. Lastly, I want to thank the Woodlawn Hitting Club and their presidente, Dave North, and their unofficial meeting place, El Tanapa.